welcome to another interesting episode of Amazing Amazon on Captain TV coming from Lagos. Hope you have been enjoying the program, the episodes done so far. Today is a new day for us to begin another journey of a conversation with Amazons. So welcome on board. My name is Tosin Adeyemi. Business owners today thrive successfully, and this is because they understand the basics of the business. You need to understand the pros and cons of the kind of business you want to venture into. For you to be successful in that business, you need to understand what it's all about. We see a lot of business owners today who do not thrive successfully, and this is because they do not understand the basics of the business. So today I'm speaking with a fabric entrepreneur, someone who has been in the fabrics line for a while. We'll be teaching tips on the business, that's the fabric business, tips on how to be successful in selecting the right fabrics, quality, color, texture, and all of that. So join me on the interview segment. All right, welcome to the interview segment. Today my guest is a fashionpreneur and entrepreneur who's been in the business sector for a while. So she'll be sharing with us how she started her business and how she has been coping in the world of competition. A lot of people are into, yes, fabrics again. So my guest for today is Mrs. Adebimpe Subair. So nice to have you. Thank you so much for having us as well. Yeah. All right. Now, looking at your name first, the name Adebimpe Subair. I want to assume you got married to an Hausa man or?
No, Ibadan man.
Ibadan man,
Yeah.
Subair. It sounded like all this northern name kind of Hausa.
No, it's actually Yoruba from Ibadan. The northern starts with Z. The Subair starts with Z.
Okay.
So hers starts with S.
Okay.
So Subhe, Subair.
Okay. Instead of S,
Instead of
Z,
Z,
it should be
yes.
Subair. I love the way it sounded, Subair.
I make it easier for people by saying Subhe.
Subhair,
Yes.
okay.
You know, once you say Subhe, that's
Okay.
Subair.
Oh, that's
So
true.
he's with the spelling.
All right, let's meet you. Let's meet you. Who is Adebimpe Subair?
Yeah, Adebimpe Subair. Okay. I am a very calm person. I'm 44 years old. I'm a mother of 3. And by education, I'm an associate chartered administrator. And I love fashion. I love putting designs together. I love blending. I'm more of a homemaker, and at the same time, I'm a go-getter. I don't believe there's nothing I can't do. And at the same time, I try to do things differently in ways I think ahead of time. Like, okay, if they're doing it this way, I could do mine that way. And aside that, I'm a business-centered person. I have this, I have various businesses I do. And yes, in quotes, I blend easily into my environment. Therefore, my friends call me Jack of all trades. Like, if you want this, just call her. If you want that, just call her. I'm a resourceful person.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, how would you describe your childhood growing up? Was it a smooth journey? How was your childhood like for you?
My childhood was a smooth one. Yeah, my parents, we're a nuclear family, and the bond was quite much. 2 girls, 3 boys. Though the 3rd boy came later in life, like 13 years after.
Wow.
But I'm the first of 5. When we used to be 4, we're like, we're just 2 girls, 2 boys.
Yeah,
you're rocky, 2 boys, 2 girls, 2 boys, 2 girls there. But growing up was fun. My dad was always there for us. My mom was always there. We always have, we're like mates, they're always there. Even going to school was fun. Even The only thing that, when you have things, you have things going your way, and suddenly something goes missing. Yes, that was when I lost my mom, and it felt like a break in my life. So growing up was fun. Indeed fun.
Okay. So now, you say you are 3 girls, 2 boys.
Two
right?
girls,
2 girls, 3
3
boys.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask this question because I hear this a lot, that parents usually have favorite child amongst their children. Did you experience the same with your parents?
Yes, I did.
So who was the favorite?
Growing up, yeah, I didn't live with my parents. Being a firstborn, I lived with my grandparents. So at 8 years old, I returned to my parents, and then they had a second, and I think that a third as well. So naturally, the child staying with them, they would definitely like the child staying there. But my mom just made conscientious effort that, she wanted to be in my life. So it was she was very, very, always there for me. She wanted to feel those 8 years she was not with me.
Okay.
So she was always there. So like a mommy's girl.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we can assume that you are the favorites.
Yeah,
or
of
your
my
mom's
mom.
favorites.
Yes, yeah.
And hope it didn't cause a kind of rift between your siblings.
No, my mom she balances things.
She doesn't make
Cancerian.
it obvious.
She's a Cancerian, so she knows how to balance her life. Even with amongst her kids, she never made it obvious to any one of us. But the only thing I could see was, I read her immediately that she was trying to fill the gap.
Okay.
So I wasn't taking it for granted. So I wasn't even rubbing it for others. Yes, sometimes I'll be like, oh, they've shifted to this person, or they shifted to that person. But my mom will always, because I stand by my grounds. I'm someone that I'd rather tell you to your face. I'm a blunt person. So growing up, definitely my mom wants me, she wants a child that knows what she wants. And mommy, I don't want this. Daddy, that's not the way I'm going to do it. So they respected me for that, because I assumed, in short, my mom trained me to be firstborn all her life. She trained me like she's not going to be here forever, right from day one.
Responsibility.
Yeah, right from day one. So my personality, coupled with her own, her love for me, she groomed me. Like, I'm not going to be here. You can hear instances like, mommy, I have a headache. Have you taken Panadol? Don't worry, we'll be fine. What if I'm not here? What if I'm dead? Or what if I'm not in this country? So that alone, most times I just think I would have done things even before she arrives. I'll be like, how did you do it? Oh, I sort myself out. So like that.
That she raised you that way to be self independent.
Exactly.
That's good. Okay, now from what you just mentioned, your mom. Who are the greatest influence on you while growing up?
Both of them.
Both your mom and your dad.
Yeah. My dad would leave anything to take us to school. Because then we're in boarding school, Lagos State Model College, Igbokuta. Then we're staying at Ikotu. So every time we have to go to school, Dad makes sure he's the one taking us. He will never assign it to anybody.
Okay.
Mom will always do her bits. She doesn't have to follow us, but Dad is always there. So it's both of them. My dad is a telecoms engineer, back then in Nitel. So if anything that comes with phone advancement, then you understand my knowledge of IT and telecoms, this thing. That's why I have a flair for phones. Back then, families don't have phone, but we're like, oh, we're always having everything. So both of them impacted.
So who are you closer to then, your mom or your dad? Are you the daddy's girl or mommy's girl?
They say firstborns are daddy's dead. I'm not daddy's girl. I'm not daddy's girl.
You're closer to your mom?
I was closer to my mom. I'm not daddy's girl, being that I'm a blunt person. My dad is equally one. So most times I say some things and this is what I want, and this is the way I want it done. And daddy says, oh, we tend to antagonize each other, knowing fully where I exhibit that trait of ease.
Yes.
So we tend to clash. But when he wants to hear the truth, he'll be like, Bimpe, come, let's talk. I know you tell me.
Let's talk like man to man. Yeah. It's not even like man to man.
Yeah. You tell me, I know you give it to me as it is. So,
okay.
Both.
All right, so let's come to your education. How was your education like, your school?
Yeah, my school. I went to Nigerian airport. Yeah, several schools. Because when I joined, my parents were changing schools according to where we're living. So I went to Nigerian Airport Authority Staff School. I think I did 4, 5, 6 there before heading off to Lagos State Model College, Igbokuta. Lagos State's Model College, Igbokuta, in Ikorodu precisely.
Okay.
So my sister, well, I think there were just 2 of us there then. Then I finished there. So while waiting, immediately I finished my WAEC. So while waiting, my dad said, "Oh, why don't you come and find something doing before JAMB and the likes?" And I said, "No, that's okay. I wouldn't be doing lesson because I didn't like that lesson kind of thing. That I would just read up on my own and I would still go to." So that's how he came home one day. He said, "Oh, that a friend of his, that his friends, his kids attend Chartered Institute of Administration. Okay. Would I like to go?" And I said, "Let me give it a try." And lo and behold, I went and I was like, "Yeah, I'll flow here." I saw that it's a 4-year course. I'm going to serve and I could do any other thing I want. So lo and behold, I started. I finished, I went for youth service. I finished December I think September 2000. I went for service 2000 in Bauchi. But I redeployed back to Lagos.
I know a lot of people, especially when you're posted to that part of the country. That
was my first time leaving home. So I didn't find it funny. Even my parents cried.
Wow.
They're like, their firstborn leaving home to that Bauchi, that far away place.
All right, no. So now back then when you were in school, do you have any kind of challenges? Maybe like what you experienced back then in school? Maybe bullying, any trauma or so that you experienced when you were in school? Everything went smoothly. I want to assume that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to remember.
But you used to be the quiet type.
Sometimes you have a flashback. No. Like I said, I stand in for people. I am someone that doesn't like any other person to be cheated.
Activist.
Kind of. So I was more of a front runner. Like
speaking for people.
I speak for people.
Fights for people. Yes, like fight, not physical. Not physical fight, like standing gap for people.
Yes. I had my people don't actually get to understand me quickly, but later when they do, I make good friends. When I make friends, I make a family.
Okay.
So I don't leave my friends easily. I stick with my friends through thick and thin. So I guess all through secondary school, I think I had the friends I had from the beginning to the end. Yeah, all through secondary school. There was no trauma. School was fun. Secondary school was fun. And
I used to be
administration was fun too.
You used to be the book type.
No.
The FU is there.
No.
Okay.
I knew how to balance my social life, my reading. In fact, I make noise. I enjoy reading when they're making noise. And being a prefect, yes, I was, on the lips of teachers, like they always say, Subair, because some see me as being quiet, some see me as being conservative, but some know that when I'm in the right environment, I speak. So, and I was a health prefect, and they would look up to me for so many things.
Yeah.
So I had to, just be perfect.
All right, so now can you share with us the most challenging moments of your life where you experienced something that almost broke you, but you later picked yourself up back? The most challenging moment for you?
My mom, the death of my mom broke me. Broke me really bad. As the firstborn, like I said, and I spoke with her a day before. She wasn't sick. And the second day, we called that she's dead. I felt like a fish thrown out of water, like my world ended. It wasn't easy. It wasn't at all. It wasn't. She died June 29th. And I was just trying to pick bits. I tried severally to pick bits and pieces of my life. I wasn't I tried, being the firstborn, so much is expected of you.
Yes.
You have to be a wife to my father, mother to my siblings. It wasn't funny. And mother to my kids, my family. I have to be strong for everybody. You know when you want to cry, and you cannot cry.
Yeah.
Because you have to be strong for everybody. So by the time I'll cry, I'll enter and cry. Yeah, that was my most challenging. And then that was what brought about the present business I do.
So how did you overcome that stage? How did you get over it?
Yeah, there came a day, a friend of mine, she's a fashion designer.
Okay.
So she called me to come with her, come source for fabrics. Because usually she likes me to be with her when she's sourcing for fabrics. So I went with her that day to the market, and we bought quite a lot of fabrics, and we came back home. But one singular thing I did was that I collected the guy's phone number. For reasons I don't know. But when we got back home, my friend just told me that I should look at this fabric she has bought, though. I should snap them and use as my status in the era of BlackBerry.
Okay.
And I told her, no, Joe, how would I? I'm not ready, just to leave me alone. She said, you've been cooked up in the house since mommy died. And you think that is what's going to help you. No, Jerry, you have to do this. And I snapped. Despite the room was dark then, we tried to create lighting, and I put them on the floor and I snapped. I used them immediately. And people were asking me, you sell fabrics now? I like this. I like this. But mind you, in between then, I was selling kitchen items, household
items.
Pots, pans, blender, kitchen utensils, then ride-ons, children's ride-ons.
Okay.
Because that's my passion, actually. I love to equip the house. And then, Nigeria was going into, what do we call it? The dollar thing was getting bad, and we had to diversify, because not every day one is buying a regular pot or pan or blender and the likes. And so when she suggested that I do that, I was like, okay, let me go ahead. Since my mom, before her death, told me, I should try to diversify into something else, that regardless of whatever I do, even if it's from the home I'm selling, I will sell. So I just keyed into that, and that's how, lo and behold, I started selling fabrics. And, the next day, third day, and, because the way I operated it, immediately I started selling fabrics, few pieces I'll buy and sell. Few pieces I'll buy and sell. But there was this day, a friend of mine just said, she's interested in these fabrics, that people are buying Ankara now, that she would like to sell. And I said, why not? Let's go together. I'll take you to where. I went there together, and I went to that guy, took his number that day. I called him, I said, I'm coming to the market. So when he obliged, he was like, okay, once I get there, I should just give him a call, because I couldn't retrace my way back there. And when we got there, I will never forget that guy. I will never. In my heart, deepest of hearts, I tend to bless him one day massively, when God blesses me more than I am at the moment. He never knew me from anywhere, no referral, nothing. He gave me goods worth of 250,000.
Wow.
When I gave him just 50K.
Really? Without knowing him before?
Without knowing him. And I was paying him as I was selling. He would send me the new ones too. And he went by and like that till date. We still do business.
To see people like that is very, like
very
to trust
rare.
someone you don't know with that kind of money.
Yeah. And that very day, I was touched. I wept like, you mean? It was like I was seeing my mom's hand in it all. Because that very day, I saw someone that was like how I saw in the market. That very day. It was just in a flash. And the guy was like, I wanted to follow the person. And the guy was like, where are you going? I said, I saw someone, my mom. He said, I should sit, I should just calm down. And I came back and, yeah, little by little by little by little by little, I grew into this.
Wow.
And somehow, kitchen things, took the back seat, kind of. But it's something that you wake me up now and say, I need this. I know what to do and where to go.
But this fabric is more,
Yeah.
it's the major for
It's
you.
the major for now, because that's what brings money into the purse.
The real money.
Yes.
Okay, now I want to ask you, upon graduation, did it ever cross your mind? Or firstly, what did you study in school?
Finance administration.
Finance administration.
Yeah.
It's kind of in line. It's still money. But did you ever, did you have in mind, that this is what you would do, like entrepreneurship and not the regular white-collar job?
Okay, when I served in the mobile arm of NITEL, which is the 090 arm. Okay. MTEL. So I worked as a copper there, and they later staffed me. I became a permanent staff, and I was posted to Abuja. Yes, all my life, even while I was in school, I was always selling. I'm not someone that will be caught not selling anything. Service year, I'll go inside Balogun, buy shirts. My boss were very encouraging. They patronized me for their wives and, their families and the likes. So I was always selling. There's barely anything I've not sold. Barely anything. Ranging from juice for kids, Capri Sun, Juice 5 Alive and the likes. I had a store back in Magodo Phase 2 back then. I sold groceries. I did groceries online back then when online business had not even started in Nigeria at all. Nigerians are like, online, what? How will I buy what I didn't see?
Online business really started fully during the lockdown. And after the lockdown, yes, kind of during the lockdown.
Yeah, Konga and Jumia. Yeah, I started with the arrival of Konga and Jumia. But back then, I started like 14 years ago. Okay. I started with groceries. I started with, later I moved to children's clothing. I'll edit, Photoshop, post on the website, And the issue I had was delivery. Then we weren't having dispatch riders like we have now. We had the like of Tranex, FedEx, DHL. And I was running to every one of them. Like, they didn't believe in online business like it would bring in money like it does now. They were just like, oh, okay. So when I started groceries, it took like 2 years. When I couldn't continue the sustenance, or there wasn't much encouragement from me. My husband's workers would patronize me, staffs at work would patronize me, and blah blah blah. So it was limited to that. Only few people from the outside world I barely knew. Yeah. Then later I moved on to clothing. I was selling baby clothing in wholesales and retails, but the retails was the one I put on my website.
But these entrepreneurship skills and passion
has always been there.
As well as is it from your mom? Yeah, I was about to say that.
My mom was selling fabrics.
Okay.
Yeah, Swiss fabric, gold, jewelries, yes. So she was it has always been in me from the very beginning.
So you never saw yourself working?
Yeah.
Working for somebody?
No.
Anyone?
Though I worked briefly. At least I worked for like, I think I had my son. Yeah, I worked for like 5 years.
Okay, before
starting yours. Yes, it was a level 14 officer. Yes, I worked with, mobile arm of NITEL. Okay. We're on federal government's employment scale, what they call them. I worked briefly. It was but my husband has always said his wife was not going to work. Right from when he came to marry me, as in the very first time he saw my dad asked him, what plans do you have for my daughter? And he said, I don't want my wife to work. My dad was like, how will you do that? Do you have business? No. On this your small job, because he also coincidentally worked in MTEL as well. Oh. Where he was at the Abuja branch and I was in the Lagos branch. So he came because as an IT personnel, he came to fix our computers and upgrade what we use to serve customers.
Okay.
So he's an IT person,
Okay.
a tech person. So, and that was how we met. And one thing led to the other, and the other, and the other, and we got married.
Wow. All right, we'll go on a short break now. So when we come back, we'll now talk more on the business aspects and how you've been coping in the world of competition, fabrics especially. All right, viewers, stay with us. We'll be back after this time out. All right, welcome to the final lap of the interview segment, and I've been speaking with Mrs. Adebimpe Subair, an entrepreneur in Lagos. All right, now let's talk about your business. You got this entrepreneurship skill and passion from your mom, and this is what has been bringing the real daily bread. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
All right, so now tell us how this business, as in how it's all started, like online, because do you have a physical, like a walk-in shop?
Not with fabrics. I used to have my previous businesses, my other business I used to have, but when I start fabric, like I told you, I was just getting out of money, my mom, so I started from home.
Okay.
Even when I tried to get physical store, my sister kept reminding me that there's nowhere I can't sell, that I should still keep doing it at home, and as I grow, I will get physical store.
Okay. So do you still have the plan of getting it?
No.
No.
I don't.
Why?
Like I told you, I've always been an online person. I've always been online.
So, yeah.
So I'm not looking at it. Number one, rent these days in Lagos.
That's a lot.
Pretty exorbitant.
Yeah.
And selling from home and with the likes of Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, I'm more on the Instagram. I'm not really much on Facebook. But you post on Instagram and it shows on Facebook. But Instagram has been a blessing to me. And I often tell myself that if Instagram goes today, what will become of me?
That's why you need to explore other social media,
which is websites.
There's even websites as well.
But I'm an online person.
Okay, so how long have you been?
I've been into fabrics for 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
So how have you been coping with? Because I know that a lot of people are into fabrics.
Yeah.
A lot of women are into fabrics. I've had a encounter with lots of women into fabrics, Ankara, lace, and all of that. How do you cope with competition? Because all of these women too, they are leveraging on social media as well.
Yeah, competition for me. I'm not competing with anyone. I see, the world is big enough for everyone to fly. So I just do my own things differently. I'm a stickler for quality. Regardless of how you push me and tell me, oh, someone is selling a particular fabric, 1525, no, I won't budge. I would rather ask to get that for you, but I won't stock that. All my other businesses, I'm a stickler for quality things. So I do strictly quality. For people that know quality, will definitely come to me. In terms of competition, I don't see any other competing with any other person. Myself and my friend are into fabric business. Yes, my friend I introduced into business. She's selling. I'm selling. This I don't have, I ask her. This she has, I ask her. This we have to, encourage each other. Like, oh, there's no business. We encourage each other. We'll pray. We'll sometimes say, oh, it's really get better. We'll get back to our businesses. Yeah, the challenges I have is dispatch riders, snapping.
I hear that a lot from
when we have to snap
vendors
as well. Oh, my sister, my husband will be like, dispatch rider, they drive you crazy. Because having to coordinate them, and sometimes you assume they've delivered and they have not. So what sets me apart from the others is I try to do prompt deliveries.
Okay.
Like, you make your order now. If it's before 12, 2, 3, I can still deliver. With the advent of GoCarda and Uber rides, Uber dispatch, I'm able to do a spontaneous delivery. Like, all I do
At least
is,
we still have
it's
some
just like you're
reliable
taking,
ones.
it's just like you're taking a cab.
Yeah.
It's not going any other place. It's going straight to the person. And my customers love me for that.
Is it that you have your own dispatch riders?
I don't.
But I hear a lot. I hear it a lot that most of them are not reliable. They don't. So how do you do yours that they deliver?
Relationship.
Okay.
Relationship. Yes, in as much as I use the Uber app and I use the GoCarda app, there they just allocate your rider to you. And so when they come picking, I try to relate with them. Like, I understand that they're in this to make money. I understand they're family people as well. So I relate with them. I take them as my own.
Okay.
So when they deliver, I make them leave with smiles when they're going. I intentionally do that. So they have at the back of them. So if any one of them picks up my ride again, they're like, "Madam, I know you." They do it with joy. Like, "Madam, can't you remember I have done it?" Sometimes they remind me that they've picked up from me before. So usually, before I got a hang on the Uber and the GoCarda app, I use regular dispatch. This dispatch guy I use, he's the one that coordinates them. I don't relate with the riders. I only relate with their boss.
Okay.
So once he comes to pick my orders in the morning, I tell him, no failure. Please ensure they go. If he says, and then I like someone being truthful. Tell me you can do 5 delivery. Don't take more than you can chew. And I detest lies. Once you tell me lie one, I'm someone that I tend to remember every little bit of things. I remember things a lot, even things you've told me 5 years ago, 6 years ago. By the time you're telling that story again, make sure you're saying the same story because I'll remind you
What you said.
what you said. And if you're the person I can't remind, I'll steal from you. And that's... So I always tell him that, see, the worst is tell me the truth. I won't kill you for it. I will take it like, oh, this guy can only do 2, can only do 1. So he's just been truthful. Rather than tell me, hey, bring the 10. I will do it.
You not deliver 5 and
Oh,
fail.
no. I don't mind with it. Because I've had ones that they really, they dealt with me. But with time, I got a hang of it.
So apart from dispatch riders challenges, are there other challenges in the
Yeah,
business?
snapping pictures. Taking pictures of the fabrics. You have to ensure that it's the same color. People edit Ankara pictures and I'm like, that's like a black market.
Yeah.
You
editing
get
the
to you
picture
and you
with
find
filter.
a mustard yellow as a bright yellow in your picture. And it gets to you as a mustard yellow. You're like, what? This is not what I saw and you want to return. So to avoid the cost of returns, I take my time when I'm snapping my pictures.
To make sure
once
that
it
it
doesn't
is
blend,
color.
once it doesn't blend, I won't post that picture. I would rather use it on my status and I do video and send to the person that this is how because blue, there are certain colors that they change on the camera. Blue will always change on the camera. Even yellow. Yellow will look dull on the camera, but a mustard yellow will appear bright. So I try as much as possible. Yeah, that's a challenge I have. Picture taking and taking the exact picture. And I've not had anyone return fabrics to me or say, oh, that's not what I saw and that's not what I... In fact, that's one of my strengths. Snapping the fabric as it is. Sometimes most times, my customer will tell me that the fabric is even more beautiful than the picture. Because when I'm taking pictures here, it's like I'm taking an exam. When you see me taking pictures here, But I think aside that,
you don't have issues with your customers?
No, really. No, really. Like I had, there was one that happened recently. The customers just sent me a picture of the fabric she bought for someone, on behalf of someone from me, and she said the tailor washed the fabric and they just sent one funny looking water to me, and when I saw it, I was like, I didn't understand the picture. I thought maybe the person was trying to starch, but no, that wasn't the case. The person was trying to check if the fabric will run before, I guess maybe they want to mix it with that white fabric. And definitely you will use, I don't know the kind of soap they use. People forget that with Ankara fabrics, because it's colors, deep in colors, wax, if you wash with harsh soap, it will definitely remove color. Especially the red and white have the tendencies to remove color. So as much as possible, even in my fabric sourcing, because I carefully select my fabrics, even in my fabric sourcing, I avoid white and red. Because even with big brands like Voile and the likes, if you put white and red together, it will run. But people forget that. You just feel that, oh, fabric should just be, no, your fake fabric is what runs and blah, 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 like that, like that. No. There's certain fabrics that will run first wash. But growing up, my mom asked us to put salt in water before washing Ankara, which keeps it from running. Okay. And wash with Lux back then. So I grew up with that. So when my customer was even telling me that, when she sent her the water, she was like, did you wash with salt? That was the first question she asked. Did you wash with salt? She said, yes, she did. And that she didn't. Just say, how can you wash Ankara without putting salt in the water like that? She grew up with that. So she already made a case for me with the person that, no, I've been buying fabrics for her for quite a while from me. So she just said, don't worry yourself, Jerry. She's just the one that didn't know how to handle her fabrics. And also the tailor was just trying to rubbish where they got the fabric from. Maybe, he would have made quick money if he had been the one to source for the fabric for the woman or something.
So now, are you saying, because from what you just analyzed now, I picked something that if you want to wash your fabric, your Ankara fabric, you have to put salt in water?
Yes.
Really?
Or you use, we have persil for colored clothes as well. I try to tell people that you don't wash your Ankara in washing machine. And if you must do...
You don't wash Ankara in washing machine?
Yes, if you must do, use color guard so that it doesn't run. Then there are some clothes, like the ones I have on, it has gold foil. You can see that it's shiny a bit. You turn it the other way when you want to wash it, so that you're not rubbing too hard on the wax, which could remove by ironing as well. You don't iron as well, you iron the reverse. But people just feel that, yes, Ankara, and initially when I started online, I was giving tips on how to handle your fabrics once a while like that you don't use hot water, use mild soap, don't use detergent, and like that. So it's...
Now, saying that in selecting your fabrics, you try as much as possible to avoid red and white colors, just because when you see a fabric that you know that, oh, this fabric we won't be water friendly or soap friendly, how would you know? Or
that
someone,
will run.
Yes, how would you know?
Usually we don't know.
But you can't just
stay off brands.
You can't stay away from colors like that.
Yes, initially I wasn't. I'll give an experience I had. Initially I wasn't, but the thing is, with fabrics, citing a fabric does not mean, oh, it won't run, or it will. But certain brands will not. But later, as later in the years in the business, I discovered that even certain brands that you think won't run, still run. Because it's like, the excess of the dye used on the fabric, it definitely must be washed off. Do you understand? So we don't get to know. We just try to source very good brands. Cotton, 100% cotton, is not polyester, skin friendly, and nice pattern. Because in the era of, cut and paste, you get to cut a particular motif and put on another fabric. So when I'm selecting my fabrics, I have my customer in mind, thinking, oh, if you decide to want something, a bold motif on your outfit, something that can make it. Oh, it's a man, something that can. Unisex, something that can suit. But colors, yes. There was one time I had a customer that, she bought a red and white fabric, and she said, while she was toning with the iron, a steam iron, the thing run, and the red definitely spilled on the white part. Initially, when I started this business, when customers complain of any fabric that runs, I replace. Yeah, I was replacing for when they experienced such. Then one day I sat up and
then what would you
how many will you run? How many will you replace? Are you in business to make loss or to make
Or
profit?
is it as if you are returning it back to where you got them from?
Who will collect it? No one.
You have to wait.
No, I don't retrieve whichever one they have.
Okay, so
Then-
what do you do?
So the day I decided that no was the day a lady tried to take advantage of me. Apparently, in my mind, I thought that fabric didn't run. She just wanted to have another because I told her to return the one. She said she had sewn it, and definitely, what would I do with a sewn outfit?
Of course not.
So right there and there, I said no more exchange. And when I made no more exchange, I also tried to cut low on red and white fabric. Where white is not much, I tried to do, the white won't be much. Red is blended with other things. Like you have a red, blue. If red will run into blue at all, they are complementary colors.
Yeah.
But if it will run into white, it will be very obvious. So I tried to play safe. And at the same time, I've not had any complaints since then, except the recent one I told you that. Yeah, the tailor, I guess it was the tailor trying to be funny anyway.
I must say this is a very good tip that you have just given to us, because I know a lot of people don't know this, that and so I bought this Ankara for maybe 20,000, 10,000, but you can see the way it is now, this, and they'll be like, what kind of, so because just like I said that it's not all fabrics that you use washing machine to wash. There's some people that they don't wash with hand like that, manual washing, it's washing machine. So how many fabrics, if you have like 10, 20 fabrics, Ankara fabrics, and you want to start washing them, of course you want to use washing machine.
Yeah, that's why I said if you have to use a washing machine, you use Color Guard. Persil has Color Guard brand. Brand. I think the green, the purple, and the white. Color Fast. I think the Color Fast is green. So you have other washing machine detergents that actually have Color Guard.
Okay.
They won't run.
Okay, you have to look for that.
They won't run, then turn your fabric inside out.
Okay.
That has worked for me. I don't know, and we have different washing machine.
Of course.
I don't know, I think the way they tumble differs or something, but it has worked for me. And
Okay, now let's talk about the business itself. I hear a lot that there's been speculations from some people that people who are into fabric business, you see them glowing, they'll be like, is this business that lucrative? You see them traveling from one country to another just because they are selling fabrics. So people don't believe that. I'm not sure it's that fabric business that is giving you all of that money, this and that. Is it that some people are like adding,
some people
let me put it that way.
Yeah, some people have other businesses they had to it. Yeah, fabric business is good. Yeah, when it's moving. When it's ashwebi, we do ashwebi, yes. When you're doing like 200, 300, 500 ashwebi,
okay,
that's where you have the money. But on retails, you're having 500, 800 as gain, 1,000. That does not include the transportation from wherever you bought it from. So the profit is actually slim. Yeah, fabric business, like I sell laces as well. Lace, you can't, on Ankara, you can't afford to put so much price. Everyone knows that, this particular brand, Chingavi brand, should range from this to this. So I tend to put my customers a lot in my heart. I don't like to be outrageous with my cost. I'm particular about my profit. My profit shouldn't double the cost of my fabric. I'm not out to make enormous gain. I try to make gain that let me say I have this empathy that, you buy a particular fabric for me for 6,000 naira and you go somewhere and see it at 3,000 naira. Will you pray for me?
Of course.
You see that stupid woman. See, she sold this. Can you imagine 3,000 to 6,000?
But some will feel like, that yours was maybe like quality. Maybe that one is the inferior one. Some people might think that, but some people will be like,
I do business with a conscience.
Woman did.
Maybe that's why I've not grown more than this. I do business with conscience, sincerely, because fabric business. Like I told you, like I sell laces. You can afford to put a gain of 10,000 on lace, and the quality, and you can say, this is worth it. But on Ankara, you dare not. So you tend to augment things. Like I told you, I do kitchen things as well. So I augment. So people shining, and am I shining?
Of course.
People shining, I think it's a grace
You are
of God.
shining and glowing.
It's a grace of God.
Yes.
And the fact that I do my business from home. Because I do my business from home, I'm not in the sun, I'm not, so that's why.
That's should the cold motor like.
It's because I'm in the home. Yeah.
So you prefer like that online thing?
Yeah,
Or
online
because
thing
we're
has
in the
been-
because we're in the digital world, and a lot
Yeah.
of people are leveraging on digital.
It has been a blessing to me, sincerely. People that shop from me are not, they're mostly in diaspora. And they're not people I know. I have people in diaspora that they recommend me and they tell me, so person, so person, so person. Because, yes, they bought from me over time and they refer and they refer.
Okay.
I discover family, friends don't buy from you. Yeah, it's people that barely know you that encourage you. I have this woman that, oh, God bless her. She has my case on her head like, oh, have you done this? Go and snap this. Okay, I'm going to put you in a group now. They're going to be asking for fabrics. And she will create a group. She sent pictures there. She says, send more, send more, send more. My friend likes fabric. Send more, send more, send more. You know? So people that I've made families on social media. I've made friends, family. I think there's barely anyone that can complain and say I've been, or they at any time called me and I was rude, or I didn't give them enough attention. I'm very spontaneous. Your message drops, I attend, and I move on. I don't like keeping my customers waiting because I put myself in their shoes. I want to buy something from you online. It's taking you forever to answer me. And when you answer me now, you not tell me that when the marketing department finishes, you know, then we'll take it to procurement. And maybe you will get it in 3 or 4 days. Because yes, some people create that chain for themselves just to appear big and no. Make it spontaneous and the person will come back again. When you experience a good service, you come back again.
Yes, exactly. All right, thank you so much for your time. So for people who want to go into the business, maybe trying to know the tips, the do's and don'ts, if you want to go into fabrics, what would be your advice to them and things they should look out for before purchasing any fabric?
Yeah, for those wanting to, I've encouraged quite a lot of people. I have drop shippers. I have people that all they want is just a picture. They market with it. And once they sell, they tell me, oh, I should help them ship to so place.
Okay.
So I actually encourage a lot of people. I have made so many people start Ankara business. What I do, what my advice to someone wanting to start this business is, there's no amount you can start with. Whatever you have to start with, just make sure, and don't base your business on my family, my auntie will buy, my uncle, and my siblings. Don't start business that, oh, people around me, when they buy. When people around you buy, they'll get tired of buying.
Yes.
But when you are in the public, you put yourself in the public and people buy, they keep coming, others will come. One day, if you see this person, you know, if you've been following me on my WhatsApp, you'll be like, and this one have nice fabrics. I don't have money today. But the very day you need fabric, I pop up in your heart. Because that's the essence of social media. You keep being in their face, keep being in their face, keep being in their face. Even the person that doesn't have money to buy now will buy later.
Yeah.
So my advice to someone starting this business is, no matter how much you have, start little. You will grow to be big. Then when you're sourcing for your fabrics, yes, we have different grades of fabrics. Like I told you, I do strictly cotton. We have polyester grade and the likes. Whatever grade you're starting with, don't mix lies with whatever you're doing. Be truthful. Yeah, we're in business to make money.
Yeah.
Don't make exorbitant profit and feel like, just have in mind that when a customer stumbles on that thing elsewhere, you're not the only one selling fabric. We're so much selling, especially Ankara.
Yeah, so many.
And you know the hills of it, you could have a particular brand sell at 20,000, word for word, same design, sold at 1.5. It's the quality of the fabric that differs. So you tell me that you bought a particular fabric 1.5, and this one is you're telling me this one is 25,000. They copy designs. So that's why some people still say they can't buy online that until they feel the fabric. They want to feel it. And I tell my customers that when you get my fabric, and if you don't like it, send it back.
And of course, they will love it. All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
We
you too.
appreciate every conversation. Thanks for for dishing out those tips in identifying good and quality fabrics.
Thank you too.
All right, viewer, thanks so much for staying with us. We'll go on a short break, so when we return, we'll wrap up the show. Stay with us. That's our guest speaking on tips, on things you need to know about fabrics. You need to understand that going into the business, before even starting at all, there's some do's and don'ts that you need to understand. And thanks to our guest for giving us those tips, and hope that you're going to make do with that. So this is where we wrap up the interview segment and the episode for today. So join me again next weekend till I come to your screen again. I am Tosin Adeyemi. Bye for now.